This podcast was created on Messy. Create your own show today at messy.fm.
Hello. Like I said, this show is just something for me to do where I can just talk off the dome about things that interest me in the news and pop culture and society. Okay, my topic for today is ZAC EFRON, Killing the Drama. I don't know how many of you have seen his Netflix movie about Ted Bundy. It's called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile, which, if you, I guess, are familiar with the story of Ted Bundy, or if you've actually seen this movie, is something that the judge that ultimately sentenced him to death is how he described Ted Bundy's crimes: extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. But the thing about it is, I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. This ZAC Efron is doing a pretty good job. And my son passes by, and he was like, yo, is that ZAC Efron playing Ted Bundy? I'm like, yeah. He says, this is the first time I've seen him do drama. How's he doing? I said, he's actually doing a really good job. So since then, I've heard a lot of people, and people that you would least expect to have seen it and, have such an opinion about it, have all been saying that ZAC Efron actually does a really good job as Ted Bundy. I mean, I don't know why it's so surprising, because I've only seen ZAC Efron in two other things. That would be Neighbors with Seth Rogen and Dirty Grandpa with Robert De Niro. Both of those were comedies, and I thought he was funny in those. But from my understanding, he was, I guess, started out in the this Disney musicals, high school musicals, movies by Disney. So I guess maybe that's why people haven't been taking him seriously as an actor, but he was really good in this. I mean, the thing with Ted Bundy is he was supposed to be this really charismatic and handsome man, that it was hard for people to believe that such a person was doing the extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile acts that he committed. So, but ZAC Efron, I'm not saying in any type of way that ZAC Efron is evil, but he has that same really good-looking guy next door thing, which ZAC Efron is much better looking than Ted Bundy, in my opinion. But if you haven't checked it out, check it out. He does a good job of portraying that thing, that boy next door, I guess you want to say, or someone you just wouldn't look at and say, oh, he's evil, or there's something off about him, which, ZAC Efron has given an interview since then, which he has said, that it was white privilege that allowed Ted Bundy to get away with the crimes for so long. And I think, you could say white privilege, but also it was his demeanor. I think he was in law school, and he just didn't look like Charles Manson. You look at Charles Manson, you knew he was off, and anything might happen with him, and people didn't really believe that he was capable of the things that he ultimately did. But like I said, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Netflix, and it's pretty good, and ZAC Efron actually does a good job. Also, I want to say R.I.P. to Tim Conway and Doris Day. They're just two people that I remember growing up watching all those old Doris Day movies, Doris Day and Rock Hudson movies, and she would sing that song, Que sera, sera. And of course, Tim Conway is famous for having been on the Carol Burnett show. So I just feel like my whole childhood is dying off slowly but surely. That's how you know you've officially gotten old. So that's just some things I wanted to share. Short but sweet. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.